Well, hello Vivek, here we are again. It's the 29th of November. Do you realise that in a month's time all this fuss over Christmas will be over? I'm sure you don't celebrate Christmas, but at least, it's all around us, isn't it? And maybe you'll have a day off anyway in celebration. But just scary, isn't it, to think in a month's time it will all have happened. So it's all ahead of us. Anyway, so here we are, and a big welcome to our viewers again. This week we're back to our normal layout that we do. Last week we had a guest speaker, which was lovely. So Chris Ogle. So if you missed that, then catch up on either of our video logs on our websites or on our YouTube channel, and details are at the bottom of the description underneath the video. So we're going to go through the Just a Minute, and where we each talk a little bit about what we do, what our vision and our passion is for how we want to make a difference in people's lives. Then we're going to look at the week gone by, and the spelling is deliberate. It's not that Vivek needs some help with dyslexia. He's actually done a pun there with his words, which is nice and clever, like that. Then we look at the road ahead, which typically is about a week ahead. Though in my case, sometimes I go on about 2 weeks ahead, don't I? I get carried away. I might even end up talking about Christmas Day if I'm not careful. And then we're doing our trick or treat. So certainly lots of exciting things happening. But let's start with Just a Minute. So Vivek, if the blue box can be yours, and tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're aiming to do to make this world a better place.
Namaste, my name is Vivek, and Vivek Technology Integrators is my company. I believe in living a simple life. I believe in thinking differently. I am proud to share my beliefs with Steve Jobs and Leonardo da Vinci, who said simplicity is the ultimate in sophistication. If the new social media confuses you, if the new technology, new devices, Windows, Google Chrome, all that confuses you, don't be taken for a ride by the cowboys. Let the Indian handle the technology, because I'm here to simplify your life and make a difference. That's my Just a Minute. I'm giving the blue box back to you, Corinna.
Okay, thanks Vivek. Well, I'm Corinna from Dancing Kites Creative Learning, and long journey about how I actually got to this point. I haven't got time to tell people, but essentially creative learning is a whole brain way of getting people to think and to learn, which can affect everything in life. So I'm passionate about unlocking potential through this creative learning and interactive learning as well. And a lot of this comes out of my experience as a dyslexia specialist, and finding out that how people need to learn who are dyslexic. But actually, even if people are not dyslexic, this approach really works well, and it can help simplify difficult topics, as we've talked about. So my brand is about a kite. What is your kite? Your kite could be your life, it could be an area of your life. Talking to someone even this morning who hadn't even thought about why they're doing, they just stumble from one thing to another. So if you're not sure where you're going, got New Year coming up, and you need to design your kite and have some help to take it off, then I'm really the ideal person to have a chat to. So I've got lots of experience and lots of good testimonials, so don't just take my word for it, take a look on my website and find out more. So more about that in coming weeks and months and so on, but that's just, I give you a flavour for what I can do. So let's go on to the week gone by, and Vivek, I'm sure you've been busy hanging out with the great and the good and building up even more expertise that you already have, and whatever else you've been up to. Go on, so fill us in on your exciting week just gone by.
As you rightly said, hanging out with lots of people, yes. I did hang out with Ray Hills and a couple of others. Let me share the names with you.
And who are these people?
They are actually, shall I say, friends. I met them on Google Plus, on Hangouts.
Nice.
They are, most of them are in the United States, a couple of them in Canada.
Okay.
So they all I mean, it's a global audience. So
Nice.
Ray Hills, he's a Canadian. Then David Leopold, Sherry Nureni, and Paulino Brenner. I think Paulino is probably Italian.
So are these great and good people then? Are they got lots of expertise with Google Plus, etc.?
Yeah, and Scott Scowcroft. So yeah, quite a few. I mean, you actually would need to do a search on Google Plus.
I need to be able to spell their names though. That's not very dyslexia friendly, is it? Ray Smith I can deal with, or Ray Hills was it? I don't know. I can cope with that one. I mean.
I did share. This was about 30 minutes or so, and then I shared a post about what we talked about during the hangout, and I would be talking more about creating these posts and how to share them, and this post linked to the YouTube video with the timestamps and so on.
Oh right, yes.
So that's a very useful way to share information, to refer to it.
Okay.
And it's very easy to do.
Great.
So that's the whole point. I mean, simplicity.
Yes, I look forward to doing that because that's something I need to do for some of my videos, isn't it?
Yes.
So that's great. Look forward to learning more about that.
And on Wednesday, I watched another hangout which David Leopold did with another David, David Emerland. David Emerland is becoming more and more popular now. David Emerland is originally from UK. He apparently was working for John Lewis as a communications director.
Right.
He left that job to start his own business and so on. And he has written a book called Semantic Search.
Oh yes, you mentioned that. Yes.
And that book is a bestseller on Amazon. So anyone who is trying to get their website on the first page of Google now needs to read this book. So,
right.
So yeah, I watched this hangout, made notes, which I'm going to again show you how I did that, or something similar in the same, and then posted this, posted the notes with the timestamps and so on.
Yes, I remember seeing it.
And then within no time, I got response from both David Emerland and David, both the Davids.
Yes.
Saying, I mean, thanking me for doing a great job and so
Brilliant.
on. And now,
yeah.
And now David Leopold wants to have a hangout with me. So,
oh wow, that's exciting, isn't it?
And he's doing a special show on dreaming with entrepreneurs. So,
subject after my own heart, that is.
So I am likely to star, as he calls it, in his Monday's show.
Nice.
So, watch out this Monday.
Great.
12 o'clock our time. So
okay, well send me the link.
Yeah.
So it sounds like people really need to be adding you to their circles then on Google Plus as well to find out where these snippets of information if they're not already.
Yeah, they are putting. I mean, encircling me as I.
Yeah. I'm just suggesting that to the viewers who maybe haven't yet done that. Yeah, we both try and put some useful stuff out, don't we? Not just
Yes.
talk about my cats, though I can do that as well. Especially as one of them's called Comet, and we've just had Comet issues the last day or so, haven't we? So anyway, I digress.
Yeah. So that has been pretty much my week. I've been, yeah, as you said, hanging out with the.
Well, it's networking, isn't it? Online.
Yes.
And I find with networking, I'll talk in a minute, but that just one thing leads on to another. You just don't know where it's going, but it's good, it's good stuff.
Yes, yes.
Great.
So I'm giving the blue box back to you if I can.
Oh, that's kind of you. I was wondering if I was going to get the chance to talk a bit more. Yes, no, that's very interesting. So my week, really busy. Not all of it's gone to plan, but you know, I've used the time, and I reckon I could fill up each day 5 times over. You know, with different possibilities going on. I've been doing a lot of networking, like yourself, but I've actually been physically going out doing the networking, and I'm very active in 4N. But I actually haven't done any 4N meetings this week, just the way it's worked out. So I went to the Queen's Head in Long Marsden and saw Jonathan Reeves' networking group. And that was really nice, very sort of relaxed and low-key. And I must confess to something here. I had my first mince pie. Well, you put them out. It would have been rude not to have one. So so that was very nice. It wasn't even December yet, but I've even handed out 2 Christmas cards today. But anyway, that's another thing.
People in America are already talking about turkey.
Yeah, well, it's Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, they have turkey, is it?
Yes, yeah, that's because it's Thanksgiving at the moment, isn't it? So that was really useful. And I went to another BNI group. I mean, I didn't think I would, but this was leading on from another one I've been to. And it's a small one. It's not fully fledged yet. No, it's time over already. You didn't give me very long. And again, some really useful, and people want to have follow-up calls and meetings and so on. And so I'm getting a lot of interest around what I'm doing at the moment. It's sort of hard to keep up with it, really. Obviously, I wanted to convert into proper sales. I'm building something here, and actually, there's a quote in the film, The Field of Dreams, which I've got on my vision board, and I will be talking about vision boards in a minute. So this all fits together, and it says, "Build it, and the people will come." And I feel very much I'm building something, and I'm getting a lot of infrastructure stuff in place. And Vivek, you're being really helpful with that at the moment in terms of getting up to speed and things on my website and my Google Plus, etc. And one of the other things I've spent a lot of time on this week is working with my new virtual PA, who's just brilliant, called Sarah Collins, and she's just a delight to work for. And I just feel she's come along at just the right time, and because I do believe I'm sort of poised for the next step really in my business, maybe after Christmas now, but that's fine. And she's just going to be so valuable for me. We just really work well. She's very efficient and friendly, and yeah, just she's great. And what I'm doing with her is I'm getting my database created about my networking contacts, because I've done loads of networking over the last few years, and I've always gathered everybody's business cards. You know, it's like lots of people do that, and then they just sit in the shoebox or they throw them away or whatever. And I do follow up. I'm a lot better with how I follow up now for meetings anyway. So, and I more often than not, I will leave a meeting with your follow-up Skype call or chat, you know, with a view to sales. So, you know, I get a high conversion rate actually at the meetings, which is really good. But the other people I talk to, okay, so what I'm doing may not be for them or not at the moment, but they may live next door to somebody who is just looking for what I'm doing, or maybe dyslexic. You just don't know. And I really believe that networking needs to be more than just, oh, I want to sell to you, which a lot of people see that. And if you watch the video last week, we were talking to Chris Ogle. It's much more about community building and actually saying, well, how can I help you? And what goes round comes round. And I really like that sort of dynamic. So I'm beginning to get a lot of that back. You know, I've been putting myself out for people, and actually people want to do that for me, which is great. So anyway, so going back to the database, so I've got over 1,000 names, and which my previous admin person put into a spreadsheet, and I use MailChimp for my e-shops, and I haven't really done enough email newsletters the last year. It just hasn't been a priority, or haven't had the energy to do it, whatever. Now it's really come into focus for me, and I don't just want to stick all these names into a database in MailChimp and then send it out, because MailChimp is very definite about that people need to opt in rather than opting out. And I'm sure we've all got the situation where you get all these newsletters and people, you spoke to somebody once, or you left your card on the bumper table and suddenly you're subscribed to various things that you don't want to know. And with Google Mail, you can just ignore it because we've got a lot of capacity, so that's been a real plus about you going to Google Mail. But it's another thing, isn't it? And it can be a bit irritating. And I had one person once who got very stroppy with me about me spamming him, which was not the idea. So I've been very cautious about actually sending an email newsletter out to these people. So what I'm now doing with Sarah is, obviously I'm paying her to do that, but it's like my marketing budget, really, effectively. So I'm going to carry on for a bit. Don't off beeping, I'm nearly finished. So effectively, I've given her this my database, which is in a spreadsheet, and I've highlighted people to approach first of all. There's quite a few of them, and she's been emailing them personally, with an email that I've drafted to say, hi, it's been a while since we've met, how are you doing? Just wondered if you want to sign up for my free newsletter. If it's not for you, that's fine. Maybe you know somebody it might be, and how are you getting on? And tell me a bit about what you're doing, maybe, because I might be able to have referrals from one of these people. And I've had a few lovely replies back, people saying yes, they definitely want to opt in. So it's not that I'm necessarily going to get hundreds of people coming back and saying yes, that's not the point, but hopefully just by sending out a good bit of goodwill. And my concern is that they're not reading them, because I actually met two people today who Sarah had emailed and they hadn't read it. And when I spoke to them and I said, I don't know whether you've had an email, but actually as we're talking, would you like to opt into our newsletter? They said, we'd love to. And one said, I don't remember seeing your email. And I said, yeah, I saw it, but I deleted it. So yes, but I think this is the way forward. So it's taking a bit longer, but doesn't have to be done in Rome doesn't built in a day. So I'm really getting that up and running, and then moving into next year I could just do that a lot more effectively, and then link it with the vlogs and the blogs and so on, and just another way of engaging people, like all the other stuff that we're doing. So that's taking up quite a bit of time, but that's fine. So that's fine. I've just looked at my mind map and realised I put something about next week's one into this week, so I'm just confused by that, but hey, I mind map it all and it helps. So those are the main things. One other quick thing, I'm having the Through the Magic Window book converted into ebooks, so I've got that in the workbook sort of almost up and running, so I'll hopefully have that up in the next week or so, and then just in time for Christmas. And I've been talking to Sarah about I want to write an ebook about dyslexia in the workplace, and she can help me with the formatting and InDesign and so on. So that's again something for next year. But I know I've probably had my time 10 times over. But anyway, so that's the week gone by pretty much. There's more I could say, but I think that's probably enough. Anyway, so let's look at the road ahead. So Vivek, tell us what's on your road ahead. Hopefully not too many potholes or diversions or whatever. So
road ahead is, Monday I would have this hangout with David Leopold and see how it goes. After that, I would again be joining this hangout with the Ray Hills, so which is on Tuesday, I think. In the evening, and I still have to update my website, and I would be creating a few more tutorial videos.
That's great.
The next week, so
good.
Yeah, I would be concentrating more on that.
That's good. I suggested you did that, didn't you? So I'll take some of the credit for that. No, I'm glad you're doing that. I think that's really important. So
yes,
showcase some of your expertise.
Yeah, so that's what I would be doing, and that's pretty much my week. Road ahead. So
yeah.
Can't think of anything that's all that important. But, next week it's going to be December, isn't it?
It is, on Sunday. Crack open the Advent calendars and light the Advent candle, and for some of us anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm giving the blue box back to you.
Okay, thanks. I mean, there is lots of stuff going on, and which is great. Just again, I'm just conscious of time, whatever, really. One of the things I'm supposed to be doing, though I haven't had confirmation back, is I'm supposed to be doing a radio interview for. They're linked to Marlow FM, part of
Mm.
Wickham Youth Action.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm waiting for confirmation that to go and talk to be interviewed by a young person and talk about dyslexia and how it affects the individual, because a lot of my awareness stuff is very much I want people to experience it, and again the whole creative way, the creative learning way, rather than just here's a list of facts about what it might be, because in my experience I find that people who've had that kind of training don't really get dyslexia, whereas if you get them to experience it and talk about that, then it really resonates with them and they can relate to it a lot more. So I'm hoping that will happen, and then they said I can have a recording of the interview, which obviously I can then put up on my website and talk about it, and I usually do all over the place. So that will be exciting if that happens. I've got the usual stuff about my training, my dyslexia tuition, and some mind mapping and follow-ups from the last few days I've got to do. I've got a couple of Skype calls, somebody on Monday night, and somebody on Wednesday with a view to some coaching support. So we'll sort of chat about that and see whether that's sort of right for them and right for me. So that would be good. And next Friday I've got the first coffee morning, which I'm doing with my friend Colin and with Chris Ogle. So those of you who were watching last week will know a bit about that. It's part of this Link for Growth. If you go to their website, it's link then the number 4 growth.biz. I think it's .biz. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, if you Google Link for Growth, it would tell you which one it is. Excited about that, and I've been inviting quite a few business people as well, and I'm sure Colin's been contacting lots of people. So that's exciting, and be quite relaxed, and might be the odd mince pie there as well. Who knows? Just a slightly different way of doing networking. So they're again more so collaborative, and yeah, absolutely, I want to get some clients out of it, but my business is about helping other people be the best they can be, so I absolutely want to get clients, but I'm not going in there with a hard sell thing at all. So hopefully it'll be fun and lead on to some sort of fruitful connections. So yeah, lots going on. I'm sure there'll be other stuff in between as well, but those are the highlights. So now it's time for Trick or Treat. So Vivek, do you want to go first again this week?
Go on.
Okay.
You still have the blue box.
All right. Okay. Thank you. I want to talk a little bit about vision boards today, and I know we've worked a bit on vision boards, haven't we, together? And and I've made up quite a few. And again, time doesn't permit me to sort of go into too much detail. But vision board is a really good way. It's a creative learning way again of looking at what you want in your life and what the next step might be. I mentioned earlier that this, in fact I might even just show people briefly, this thing called the Field of Dreams. So vision boards can be words, could be pictures, it could be a mixture. And basically what you do is you sit down with me, you don't do it with anybody else, no, you don't me, but a pile of magazines and leaf through them and then just see what sort of speaks to you, what you're drawn to. Because the talking therapies do have a place and they absolutely work. But I'm just passionate about finding creative ways of unlocking people's potential. So something like a vision board is great because it gets people past the shoulds and the wants. So if I said to you, oh, what do you want to do next year in 2014, then, obviously in people's minds is they've got a mortgage to pay or, kids schooling, whatever it is. You start thinking about all the shoulds and you may have a fantastic idea or dream or passion, but actually, it's often the shoulds and the wants, the shoulds and the oughts that take over. Was this way of just tapping into a bit more? I mean, yes, it might be that you want a red Ferrari and a mansion, this kind of stuff, but actually the work that I do with people is grounded in who you really are, and it's about being realistic as well as according to dream. So I don't know how much people can show you, but on you can see here it's got a list of words, and at the top, if I can find it, it says here Field of Dreams. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now when I made this, that was at a meeting a while ago. I've got quite a few vision boards actually. So this has got all kinds of things which are very much in tune with who I am and what I want to see for my business. And some of it's happened, some of it is happening, some of it hasn't happened yet. But this Field of Dreams phrase was really interesting because I saw it in a magazine and I knew it was important and I didn't know why. And again, I encourage people to go with their gut As Will.i.am said once, go with your gut, he said, and actually listen to, because often we have the answers inside if we actually stop and listen, but we don't. We just put the other stuff on it anyway, just ignore the phone going in the background. So anyway, this field of dreams came up, and I didn't know what it meant. So what I did, I just put it on my vision board, and I had 1 or 2 ideas, and then I don't know, a couple of months ago, this phrase came back to me, and then sort of coincidentally, I don't believe it's coincidence, I saw somebody said, oh, there's a film called The Field of Dreams, and I looked up the quotes, and there was this particular quote that said, build it and the people will come. And I'd had this phrase in my mind, and I didn't know that the two were linked. It sounds really weird. Somebody would say spooky, but actually I think life is like that if we let it. If we let good stuff happen, it will happen. So anyway, this is very important for me because I've been building my brand for quite a few years, and I've had some really good results with people. But it's not as big as I want it to be yet. And I'm sure we can all say that. But I still have visions and dreams. I want it to be different, be better. So this is important. And a lot of what I'm doing at the moment is, particularly with Christmas coming up, people don't necessarily want to book up new training or whatever, is, I'm building something really good here that can really sort of take off. So that's an example of how a vision board can work. And, I've created various ones. And if you read up about them, if you Google, some people say you just put the stuff down and you forget about it and it will all happen. Well, that can work. My first one had a tabby cat on it, and I've now got a tabby cat. I completely forgot about my vision board, and then I found it, and on it was one of the things that says, discover your creativity. And this was a few years back when I don't know why I did it, and boy, have I discovered it. And I don't know what to do with it all, But anyway, so that's good. So that sort of worked without me doing anything to it. And then there's other stuff on my vision boards I'm looking at and thinking, they haven't happened yet, and I've had to do other personal work in terms of, positive affirmations and a lot of hard work and effort. So it is magical in a way. It sort of starts to open you up to stuff and things start to happen, but actually there's a whole lot around sort of the coaching, mentoring that needs to happen as well. So I'm actually offering a special offer at the moment, at the end of the year and sort of January, February, that if people book up a vision board session, which is a 2-hour session, you sit down with me, pile of magazines and a cappuccino if you want, very relaxed, just go through that, and then you have a discount 10% off some mind mapping training and coaching to follow that. So that's well worth looking into. So if you want to know more about me, just message me later. So again, it's a huge topic, but it's working for me. Sometimes the timing sucks. I like to say some of the stuff I'm thinking still hasn't happened yet, but I'm focused on it's going to happen. So there you go. So that's me and vision board. So over to you, Vivek. Do you want to tell us a little about your video, and then we'll have a quick look at that, and then we can do our sign off.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to show a small YouTube video today, which is about what I was saying earlier, how to create a post on Google+, which helps you in learning, sharing, and getting more people to like you or encircle you, and so on. So let me start YouTube app.
YouTube is a fantastic tool for learning and, of course, entertainment. Learning is very effective when you take notes while attending a class or watching a video on YouTube. What you learn becomes more effective when you share the knowledge you learned with others. Now, as Google has integrated multiple tools together, today let me talk about two of them which are very important and useful: Google Plus and YouTube. I shall show you how to use Google Plus effectively as a learning tool. First step is to start taking notes effectively. I stress the point, effectively. Here I am on a YouTube video. Now, as I come across a noteworthy point, I note down the time. By time, I mean this number here, 30:23. Now note down this time and also note down the point that is being made. Since it is YouTube video, you can and should pause the video whenever necessary and even rewind if required. Now, rather than writing on paper with a pen, I suggest you do this. You go to your Google Plus page and start typing in the Share What's New box here. You key in the title of the YouTube video and you put in an asterisk before and after the title. What that does is, when you post this, the title appears in bold font. Now, as I have already noted down the timings and so on, let me copy and paste it. Let me paste it here. I have put an asterisk at the beginning and end, and I have put a tag which says integrate, simplify, life. Now I need the link. I go to URL channel, copy this URL which is shown on top of the browser. You make sure that you choose this URL from this window, not from anywhere else. Copy that and press this link button and paste it there and wait a few seconds. The URL gets resolved and the YouTube video appears there. Now I need to share this, and when I share this, I'll show a magic that happens to these numbers here. Let me share it. So that is shared. Look at these numbers. They have now become links. These links, if I click on them, for example, if I click on this 30:20, it will take me 30 minutes and 20 seconds into this video. This video is 50 minutes long. So rather than starting from the beginning, it will start from that point. And same thing happens if I click on any of these numbers. That's the trick for today. Hope that has been useful. Thank you.
Hey, did you like it?
Yeah, that was good. That's informative. Thank you. But presumably that only works if you're sharing it within Google Plus.
Yes.
So if you want to share it in Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter, you can't use that.
After you share it in Google Plus, if you copy that from the shared page, if you copy that and if you paste it, you can actually paste the same text into the description of your YouTube itself.
Right.
Or you can, I don't know how you share it in Facebook. I haven't been using Facebook, but
yeah, no, obviously, as you know, some of the trick or treat that I do, I want to put a separate video.
Yeah, but what
Yeah.
I actually did was I copied that shared post into a Word document.
Yeah.
And when I opened the Word document, I could see that each of those numbers were still links.
Mm.
So when you actually share it on Google Plus, those numbers turn into links.
Yeah.
So that's what happens
Yeah.
automatically. So
Okay.
it's
That's
a
very
trick,
useful.
simple, simple and easy.
Or maybe it's a treat.
Yes.
It's a treat to watch all these useful things. That's great. Good.
So there you have, you have the blue box.
Right. So it's time for the two Ronnies bit then, isn't it? It's good night from me, it's good night from him. So it's got to that end of the day, end of the week, isn't it? And yeah, time to sort of chill out and relax this evening, I think. But thanks for your time. It's been great to catch up and share all the stuff. And it's always good reviewing the week and thinking what's coming up ahead. And yeah, it's good. So I'm Corinna Shepherd from Dancing Kites Creative Learning, and I'm passionate about unlocking your potential through creative and interactive learning.
It's Vivek Baindoor signing off. Integrated, we live. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.